Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we are here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations with the Biz Chicks. So we hope you'll sit back, relax, and take part in this conversation because this is all about you. So today we're going to be talking about, hey, answer the
Answer the
question.
question.
Oh my God. And you may be asking what question or whatever goes through your mind. Hey, we're about to talk about it right now. Good morning, Mark. How you doing? Yes, Fran is in her getaway car. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But we're going to be talking today about answer the question. And the reason why this comes up is because I had a conversation the other day with an individual, and that we were helping. And of course, when you're helping people, you need information. Now, I'm asking yet trying to ask yes or no questions because I don't want to belabor what I have to share or forget my thought. But instead of answering the question, they began to tell me the history of why we are here and and why the question is even necessary. As a result, I had to actually stop them. I just stopped talking because and they just kept talking. Stop talking. Please stop talking. I want to give you the answer. And it was so frustrating to me that it brought me back to this topic. And we've discussed this topic maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it may have been earlier than that because I can remember
Quite
we
a
were
while ago.
on we was on another platform when this
Mm,
occurred, and it,
it's
it is
just
it's still relevant.
it is. It really
And
is.
because and it when Terry said it, I experienced it yesterday. The and I recognize the the personality type of the person that I'm working with, which is a really key thing. So that you don't get frustrated, you need to know the types of people and their tendencies,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. And so I was like, okay, I didn't say explain something to me. I asked a question, and there was, like Terry said, we never got the answer. There was the narrative
Mm-hmm.
for the answer. There was the narrative for the question, but never answering the question. And the reason for answering the question is so that people can make a decision to be able to assist you with whatever it is that you have to do. And in this case, I was we needed information to be
Mm-hmm.
able to tell them where to go for a resource. But we were
And they
it was
insisted on telling this long narrative, taking us down this rabbit trail. And when you have other people waiting for assistance, or you have other things on your schedule because they've interrupted your schedule to ask, oh, just one little thing. No, answer my question so that I can help you. And Mark's got some comments here. He says, too many live their lives like they are politicians. They allow fear of judgment and belittlement to avoid committing to actual opinions or divulging truth. He says, by the way, clients who try to play that game with me experience an often uncomfortable awakening. Mark doesn't play. Yeah, Mark, I had to tell him, stop talking. And
and and
finally,
and and
raise my voice and get over
it sounds like you are being unkind to them, but they're on their way over a cliff in warp speed heading toward disaster, and we're like, stop, just stop. And we could just let you go, but you will
Yeah.
never get the answer you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Answer the question. Just
Okay.
and now, so on the flip side of this, if okay, so we know people who don't answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't want to be that person. But how do you handle the person that doesn't answer the question? How is I guess what I'm saying is, how do we assist someone in that particular situation where we're really wanting them to do better, and we're looking for input? What's the best way to handle a person that doesn't answer the question? And you don't have all day, because I remember what you said about the attorney, Terry. You ain't got all day.
Yeah, okay. You can raise the price so the people know that they're paying by the minute. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I'll recap that story. When I was going through a divorce, when I first went to my attorney, the first session, I cried all through the session, and then I get a bill for 300 some dollars for the hour. You better know the next time I went in there, I was focused about what I was going to be talking about. Okay.
That's so key, because as I'm sitting there and I have an agenda, okay, we're going to help you get this set up, this set up, this set up, this set up. I can't chase butterflies with you.
Yeah.
I need to get this set up, this set up, this set up, this set up in this time frame. And now I I now
Yes.
have to stay on point.
Hmm. And I'm more focused because I recognize that it's costing me something. But you had to stay on point. How did you manage it?
I had to bring, okay, well, we'll need to schedule another session,
Okay.
because I have this, because you want to help, but they can take you down the abyss, across the canyons, and I need to stay right here. And my remedy, as we're talking, is like, book another session.
Hmm. And charge them for the session that they use for counseling. I mean, you want to
Right,
use me for a sounding board or for a psychiatrist? That's not my calling, but hey, that's what you used it for. You still used my time.
right. And so, um, putting booking a adding a dollar figure to the time, because I could be showing a house, I could be working on another project or something, but I'm
Exactly.
here. I want to be here. I want to help, but I need us to rein it in, and the butterflies have to wait for a minute.
Think about it. And Mark says here,
My response is, that's interesting, and it's not an answer to the question that I asked. When that's how he responds back. Let's Apparently he lets them talk, but he said, "No, that's interesting, but it's not an answer to the
to what I
question."
asked, which is
Right.
me saying, please stop talking and answer my question. Because I was just,
And the result was for their benefit.
mhm.
That was the thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for your benefit. This is not.
And if you knew the answer, why do you keep talking? Why are you sitting here with me if you already know the answer?
And Mark gave that answer up a little earlier when he said that people they feel like they might be belittled or
Oh,
judgment,
uh-huh.
or or they're fearful of something, because they were like a little kid. Oh, I have to go help my mom and my family, and that's why I couldn't make the appointment. I
Hmm.
really, there's no it's not necessary for you to apologize to me. Just tell me, I'm not able to take that. I'm not able to make the appointment.
I
Let's
need to
reschedule.
reschedule. Mm-hmm.
I don't really need the narrative and the story to make it okay, to make you don't need to make me feel that I
I
accept your answer regardless. You're not in trouble with the teacher. You don't have to
exactly.
explain to you why you can't be here, or and if you don't know the answer to the question, I don't know that answer is also okay.
And you don't have to justify it. It's just like when I make an appointment with my dentist tells me, you know, on the when they send the confirmation for the appointment, it says, and if you cancel this appointment, you are going to be charged $50. So do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And Mark has a couple of
Yes,
questions.
he
Uh,
does.
a couple of comments. Let's see what he said on the first one up there.
Oh, he said the attorney gave me something to cry about.
And
Yeah.
the attorney's just gonna be like, okay,
Well,
you
and
keep
she
on.
just sat there and listened. She just let me go on. And then she sent me a bill. When I came back, I was focused.
Hmm.
He says, I tell potential clients up front about the way that I work. I explain that I'm going to be asking questions that will possibly make them uncomfortable. If they are uncomfortable, I want them to be able to share that. But they need to answer the questions, otherwise, we will not work well together. That's good. Here we go. He says, after objections are defined, pardon me,
Objectives.
are defined. I provide clients with the amount of time and the cost, with the caveat that they do as I ask in the time frame that I define. Otherwise, it will add to the time and the cost. This is part of the LOA that they sign.
Mm,
Letter of agreement?
yeah, and that's actually excellent. And I think we all need to have our uh, practice how we are going to
Hmm.
our client behavior for our own selves. What does that look like?
Hmm.
And because especially if you're not doing sales necessarily where you have products, but if you're providing a service, there should be a contract,
Hmm.
an agreement that um, there should be an agreement between you and the client. And
Hmm.
this is the list of expectations on either side.
Oh,
And
and the
and
deliverables, yeah.
right, and then okay, and if those, what happens if those deliverables are not met, and everybody knows what everybody's doing, so nobody can say,
Well, everybody knows what the expectations are. Like he said, I'm doing A and I expect you to do B when I give it to you in the time frame that we outlined on this timeline.
and having it written down, having it in writing keeps it from evaporating from the mind, because sometimes people, oh, I don't remember you saying that.
And he addresses that right here. He says,
Hmm.
understanding communication should never be assumed. That is so true. I always use what I hear you saying is, and I follow up conversation with emails noting what I heard and what I have explained that we need to do going forward.
Right. And remember that we had a one of our community conversations on a Saturday. That one of the ladies said she learned this communication key, which was, now I heard you say this. And then asking them questions. What did you hear me say? What did you understand me to say? And asking them that question. So, what did you hear me say? And what did you understand me to say? When you listen back to them, oh, that's not what I meant when I said, you know what I mean? You're getting clarity. What did you
Mm-hmm.
hear me say? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, so the asking those questions, those 2 questions after while you're in the conversation, what did you hear me to say? What did you understand me to say? Oh no, that's not what I meant. This is what I wanted to say. It gives clarity, gives the opportunity for clarity to just,
Mm-hmm.
so now what did you understand from what we just had you heard me say? Oh, no, that's not what I meant, because people have different vernacular for stuff.
My question is, what does that look like to you? How would you know what I'm
And
saying?
just to make sure we are on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
I because sometimes people listen in pieces. Maybe they heard.
Well, sometimes it's like when we use the word family, or we use the word. Let me tell you, like IQ tests, and so I show a 4-year old a picture of a bedroom, and I say, "What room is this?" And they say, "My living room," because everybody lives in one room in that family. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uh, this is so people have different conceptions of what words mean and how
Hmm.
what vision comes to mind, because you talk about how when I say a word, a picture comes into the mind. So my picture and your picture may not match.
Yes, because when somebody says dog, Mark is probably thinking about Rupert. I'm thinking about Tessa, and you're probably thinking about the dog that you had when you was growing up. And
Hmm.
they're all three different dogs. It's not just dog that we are seeing. We're
Hmm.
not seeing the word dog.
And some people may be thinking about a whole different species. But anyway, here's Mark. It says in my 20 plus years of doing this, I've only had to fire 2 clients. Well
Because
done,
he's,
Mark.
well,
You
very
don't
well done,
talk
because he
about
spelled out expectations. You know what I
you.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so he wasn't gonna have to.
Go down that road at all.
Mm-mm. Hey, Dr. Tachi, welcome. So answer the question.
Answer the question.
Because if you, okay, with communication, we cannot move forward without proper communication. So when these 2 young ladies, we were asking questions to, and they went on this rant, and it wasn't it just was on just a narrative, I guess, a monologue, a narrative, and it was like, I need you to stay right here,
I didn't ask for an
come back.
explanation. And I intentionally try to frame things so that they are yes or no answers.
Right.
So that we
And
get
I so we
go
stay
ahead.
off the field, butterfly fields. We stay, because the question, if it doesn't get answered, there will not be a solution to whatever their situation happens to be. Or even in mine, I'm taking it to remind myself, just answer the question,
Hmm.
yes or no. Not, well, because when you answering no with extra stuff commits you to extra stuff.
And how many times have we said no is a complete sentence?
Sentence.
So is yes.
Yes is a complete sentence. Yeah, I like that, because when I say no, then would you like to go? Like, I was invited to an event, and I was like, and people said, "Are you going to so and so's event?" No, and they're probably waiting on me to give a reason why I wasn't going. Or people say, "Hey, would you like to go do such and such?" No. If I say no, not today, well, when do you want to do it? See, no, and I really don't want to do this. I have to be very clear and say no, not no. Well, no, not today. Trying to make them feel better about my no.
Exactly.
Now they're like, well, let's do it tomorrow. No, no, I don't want to do it at all. Not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I just don't want to do it at all.
I'm not
Mark has
interested.
another Mark has another comment. He says when you force an answer, it's often very enlightening to the client as well. They have managed to evade taking responsibility for what they are really thinking, both to themselves and others.
Here he goes.
sometimes sometimes just saying no is better than not today saying
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah. Not today. I'm not up for it. And so they want to know, are you up for it tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. How about no? And just answering the question. And I'm my goal is to just answer questions succinctly and not have extra things. Uh, it's amazing how the Bible talks about this stuff. Let your yes be yes, because then you get into other
And your
stuff
name be
when you
named.
start you start getting into other things. And what I've learned is when I'm explaining something to somebody, like we're having a challenge with one of the systems for one of my clients, and I understand the technical stuff in the background, what's happening. Okay, it's down. We can't use it. Here's what we need to do in place of it. And
Hmm.
then I'm making a call on Monday to see what we can do to fix it, but
Hmm.
not talking to them about the technical background and stuff, trying to them make
Trying
you
to
think that,
educate them in 5 minutes.
or trying to prove that I know the circuitry of the blah blah blah. No, look, it ain't working, and we're on the call to figure out what it is. Their tech team is working on it, and we just need to figure it out.
Well, the question is, will you please answer the
Answer
question?
the question, because you won't get the help you need. Your clients won't get the help they need. You can't help anyone if they don't answer the question or if you don't answer the question.
And I'm trying to tell you, it was just to the point where I had to say, please stop talking and answer my question. And they were still
And
talking. I'm like,
and Mark has a comment. He says, I will say, without making broad brushstrokes in my experience, this is more often a challenge for females
yes,
more
it
than
is.
males. Females have been socialized to be good, polite, not to make waves, etc. So they often edit themselves for fear of making another uncomfortable or appearing to be difficult. Amen, Mark.
Because we're often branded as being, you know, people start putting labels on you when you are succinct. Oh, she's brass. Oh, that was curt, you know. But if it's a guy, oh, they were direct. They were forceful. They know their mind. You know.
And wait, we okay? So we just supposed to be wishy washy. How about no?
Mhm. Good morning. Yes.
It's just no, or it's yes. Uh, and if you don't want to do it, don't do it. The answering the question will help solve the problem. It will get us to the next phase,
Mhm.
because the young lady you were talking to, and the situation she was dealing with, and it was going on and on and on and on and on. And she already had the answer, but she was
Someone had
so so
Someone had volunteered to help her weeks ago.
but she probably, but she was so up here
Yes,
with the with
with
whatever's
the
happening
problem.
that she didn't see the solution. And it was already there, and I was like, that's why it's good to say something sometimes, having a coach and a cheerleader, because when we heard it, she whipped past that statement so fast. I was like, hold on, back up. Did
Mhm.
you just say so and so said that they would help you and to give you a call? I'm here for you. Oh yeah, they told me that yesterday. Wait a minute,
And
but you
several weeks
skated,
ago. So they
and
had
you
been telling her on several occasions.
right. And but she was skating past that in an explanation of I'm just frustrated at da 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 da.
We wanted to talk about the problem. We wanted to talk about the solution. So I don't know.
And she had the solution, but when we said, but did they just ask you? Did they just offer to help you? Oh yeah. Oh, I guess maybe I could just wait and because they did do such and such, and the perspective changed instead of the usual narrative that was going on. She was able to stop and see, and we just said, "Wait, there's the life raft right there. There's the little somebody, your lifeline. Somebody had threw the lifeline out there and flipping and swimming, and but the lifeline is floating like right here. Kind of grab the lifesaver
It's just
and get out the
something.
water. It
Oh
was
my
really
goodness.
interesting, and I am remembering not to do that, telling listening to myself, and oh, I feel like I'm going on and on here. Mark has another question. I mean another comment.
He
He
says we
says we
always have
all.
the answer.
Mhm.
Go ahead, friend.
Sometimes it simply takes the right question or methodology of revealing it. So much of my work is an archaeological dig. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
But they need to answer the specific questions to excavate the issue so we can clear out the
Minutia.
right. So we can discover the genius that is there, so we can discover what's going on, but you can't do the discovery if you don't ask the question. We won't even know where to dig if you don't answer the question, or if the person doesn't answer the question.
You would be surprised how many people do not get what they want because after they answer the question, they got to tell a story, and by then people forgotten what they even asked for. They were about to say, "Oh, I got one of those in my garage." You know what I mean? We have so much stuff in these houses: heat presses, crickets, bicycles, exercise equipment that we're hanging clothes on. We got stuff to help you out, but your narrative is so long that we forgot. Oh, and the other thing is, I don't want you to come to my house to pick it up because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear a 15-minute story. I ain't got time.
Yes, Terry is like, nah, don't come
Just
talk.
drive by, pick it up, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes narratives are okay, but they're not when you're in the middle of solving a situation and you need specific. Oh, how about the paramedics? They're on the line with somebody. Okay, what's your emergency? Well, my so and so, my husband, wife, kid, whatever, is hurt, and we need somebody to come. Okay, are they breathing? It's just I don't, they look like, we were playing and something happened. Are they breathing? Well, we were playing and he fell over and I went over there and Billy's walkie-talkie was doing something. Are they breathing? And
Girl,
the paramedic or the 911 operator is like, are they breathing? We're sending someone, but I've heard calls and things where people have trouble just answering the question. Mark says one of the things that I always do before a session, what would you like to walk away with today? What do you need to know that your time was well spent today? Then at the end, I repeat it. At the beginning of our repeat it. At the beginning of our session, you said, "Here's what we uncovered. Here's what you said. Here's what we uncovered. Did we meet your objective today?"
and that is what we do in all our training sessions. We set the objective, we tell them what we're going to do to meet the objective. Then, after we tell them what we told them, we go back and we review to see if we achieved the objective so that we can all concur that we reached the objective for this particular workshop. However, if we had not set the objective, we could have been there all day trying to figure out what they really wanted. If you let people take you down rabbit trails. So with that, I hope we have answered the question, which is how to get people to answer the question and how to handle that, and don't be frustrated when people don't
And make
answer.
sure I need to make sure I'm answering the question when someone asks. It
Exactly.
works on both sides. Answer the question and be okay helping the other people while they try to figure out how to answer the question.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, guys. This was a lively discussion. Thank you so much, Mark, for all your comments. And I hope that we helped people understand that it's important to answer the question because you can talk people out of your solution. I think they have your solution, but they can't get a word in edgewise because you're giving a historical narrative on why we even are here for that question. Oh
Hmm.
my gosh.
Yes, I did not.
Thank you
I'm
for the
not
tip.
picking up any strangers, Mark.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Very good. All right, guys. We love you and take care of yourselves. With that, we're
And make that. And thank you for letting us help you take that hassle out of your hustle. We'll see you tomorrow with TJ.
yes, and we want to remind you that if you're looking to become a part of BizChicks, you can simply text Biz to
Three
what?
three seven three three
Seven.
seven seven seven.
Yes, I'm looking for the Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. You can text Biz at 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net. We are happy to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. And it doesn't cost you anything to join the community. So we'll talk to you soon.
Bye bye, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Please answer the question. Bye bye.